What happened when a daycare tried to take over all our parking spots? I never imagined parking would become the biggest issue in our tiny 2-tenant building, but somehow it turned into a full saga. My partner and I run a small 8-person company on the second floor. Our space is large, about 3,500 square feet, which comes with a generous 24 parking spaces written directly into our lease. It's more than we need, but the layout of the building made it part of the deal. The only other tenant is the daycare on the ground floor. Their front lot holds roughly 10 cars, and staff plus parents quickly outgrew it. For years, their overflow simply spilled into our lot. Parents parked in the back, staff parked in the back. Half the lot was full every morning and afternoon with people who didn't work for us. I didn't care. We had plenty of extra spaces, and it kept the drop-off chaos away from the narrow front entrance. The kids running around in the morning even gave the place a cheerful feeling. Then my schedule changed. I started arriving later, right at peak drop-off. Suddenly I was the one circling the lot, trying to find a space in the parking area I legally controlled. Twice I ended up parking in the daycare's lot since theirs was half empty. The first time was uneventful. The second time, the daycare manager glared at me like I had pulled into her driveway at midnight. The third time, my bright blue truck disappeared entirely. Towed. No warning. No, please don't park here. No note. Just gone. I walked inside to ask if they knew anything about it. The manager came out and immediately launched into a speech about liability, non-parents on their property, and how I should stick to my reserved back spots. Her tone made it sound like she thought I was wandering into a restricted zone just for fun. She even tossed in a comment about how parents don't want to walk any farther than they have to, as if that was somehow my responsibility. I kept myself calm because there were kids nearby, but I left the building frustrated and holding a $600 bill. A few days later, I tried again to sort things out like adults. I explained how surprising it was to have my truck removed without a single conversation beforehand. I wasn't looking for drama, just an apology and permission to use their lot occasionally on hectic mornings when theirs had space and ours was jammed with their own parents. She didn't even blink. She repeated the same lines and dismissed me like I was bothering her between more important tasks. After that, I left it alone. Until the morning I pulled in behind a line of daycare parents all trying to grab the last open spaces in our lot. I had to wait 10 minutes for them to clear out so I wouldn't risk another tow. When I finally rolled forward, the daycare manager herself zipped into a spot in our lot right in front of me. That was the moment everything shifted. She wanted strict boundaries. She would get strict boundaries. I reached out to the building owner and explained very politely that due to certain licensing requirements our company was preparing for, we needed limited access control added to our parking lot. A simple gate with a keypad for employees and approved guests would solve the issue. We'd cover the cost. The owner approved it the same day, not realizing it would change the morning routine for the entire building. 2 weeks later, the gate was installed. I came in early the first morning it went live. I grabbed coffee from our kitchen, walked to my office window and watched the scene unfold. Daycare staff walked up to the new gate, puzzled, tapping random numbers as if a secret combination might magically appear. Their lot filled instantly. Parents began arriving one after another, only to be redirected because the back lot was now off limits without a code. Cars bottlenecked in the small front lot. Some parents double parked while rushing kids inside. A few ended up leaving their vehicles down by the park and trekking across the grass with strollers. From my window, I could see the daycare manager outside trying to direct traffic like it was a miniature intersection. When I eventually stepped out to head to a meeting, I offered her a polite wave. Her expression told me she finally understood what it felt like when someone else controlled the space you depended on. Later that day, the building owner forwarded me an email from her demanding an explanation. She claimed the shared backlot should remain accessible. He gently replied that the entire backlot had belonged to our company since the day we signed the lease. She had simply never read it. With 2 years left on our current lease and the option to renew for another 5, I don't plan on going anywhere. The gate stays, the parking stays, and suddenly, the morning rush is quiet, orderly, and exactly as our lease intended.